Okay, so one of the questions we had online was, you desensitize your horse to tarps, flags, obstacles, streamers in the round pen. Now it's time to come out of the round pen and chuckers fly out of the brush and the horse goes berserk, or it's mule deer that scare them walking down the brush. How do you desensitize to the real world?
So this is going to sound a little cowboy, and I guess the truth of the matter is, on young green horses like that, and when it comes to those outside rides and exposure, I'm going to upset some people here, but you need to be hand enough to ride them through those storms. And folks, it's not a question of whether or not you're going to have storms. You are going to have those storms that you have to ride a horse through. If you don't have the ability to ride that horse through those little storms, and when I say storms, something scares him and he wants to whirl around and sell out and go home, or run off through the brush with you and you can't hardly get him shut down, or something flops him, a willow limb whacks him in the flank and he jumps straight in the air and you can't ride. I guess what I would say is that if you can't ride through some of those things, you maybe ought not be riding colts and things like that. So when we do colt clinics, when I work with people, I oftentimes don't have the people that have that higher level of skill and ability. Maybe I have people that ride pretty well, but they're not, quite as dyed-in-the-wool cowgirl and cowboys that can really ride through a storm. What's my answer to that? I make the horse as soft and as good as I can make him so that they have a half a fighting chance to shut that horse down. If I can get that horse just soft enough that he'll clear those ribs, disengage those hindquarters, they can reach for one rein and bring that nose around and shut him down. I've had youth riders that aren't that experienced, but they listen to what I said and reach for that one rein and do it quick enough and fast enough, swift enough that they shut that horse down and they kept it safe. So I guess you can go what's the perfect way to go? It's to have the horse as good as you can and then have some real cowboys and cowgirls that can ride a horse through a bit of a storm. But I'm not going to candy coat stuff up. If you're 5'2" and you weigh 300 pounds and you don't have any balance, timing, and feel, maybe riding colts through a storm out there when the grizzly bear spooks it and stuff isn't your game. And I'm not trying to be critical or sound harsh, but it's the reality.
So would you say the desensitization part, after they have that, is just a matter of exposure, right? Maybe it's ponying them behind an old campaigner that wouldn't?
Yeah, all those are great things you can do. You can stack the deck in your favor. Even if you're somebody who rides with great balance, timing, and feel, and you're a real cowboy and a real cowgirl, and you're pretty sticky and punchy, and you can ride them through a storm like that, there's still no harm in having an old campaigner the first ride out there that you can sort of track behind a little bit across the river and a few things like that. If that young horse has never been exposed to those things, there's no harm, there's no shame in any of that. That's just called kind of using this little gray matter up here that we were all given.